Namaste friends, we are going to talk about sensors and smartphone. Like specifically we are going to talk the sensors today which our smartphones are having. I am Gopal Krishna Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science at Dev Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya, Haridwar, India. Dear friends, today in this age when we are living in the age of artificial intelligence, every device is becoming very sensor oriented. Smartphones are also having so many sensors in them. Let's talk about sensors first. The sensor is a device that detects and measures the changes in the nearby environment and sends that data to the operating system or processor. And they sense and collect data for which they are made. Like specifically, they are made for a specific purpose, like for ambient light, the sensor is made for detecting light. So it is an expert in detecting the light. So basically, as per the need, we are having specific sensors, and these sensors sense the environment, sends the data to the operating system, and on the basis of that data, a lot of interpretations are made. Now we are talking about these sensors in the context of smartphones. So first of all, in smartphones, we categorize them mainly in three parts. First one is motion sensors, second one is environmental sensors, third one is position sensors. When we talk about motion sensors, these sensors measures axis based motion sensing like acceleration forces and rotational forces along with three axes. So mathematics is involved in it, and these are motion sensors. Like this category includes accelerometer, gravity sensors, and gyroscope sensors. Environmental sensors. These sensors measures environmental parameters like air pressure, temperature, light, and humidity, etc. Like this category includes barometers, photometers, and thermometers. The third type is position sensors. These sensors measure the physical position of a device, whether your device is in landscape mode or portrait mode, or in which direction. This category includes orientation sensors and magnetometers. So basically, these were the three categories in which we divide the smartphone sensors. The image is telling you that on one side, sensors built into the mobile phones or the smartphones, and on the other side, the external sensors that communicate with our mobile phones. So we have a wonderful facility over here that on one side, our smartphones are sensing the environment, on the other side, the ambience or the external sensors which can also communicate with our own smartphones. Let's talk one by one about the different sensors we are having in our smartphone. First one is accelerometer sensor. The accelerometer detects axis based motion sensing. It senses the changes in the orientation of smartphones with respect to x, y, and z axis. Like today, many camera applications provide specific orientation based features like portrait mode or panoramic mode. Also, when you see other photos in portrait mode, then it looks different. If you hold the phone in landscape mode, then it looks different. Also, some flagship phones provide flip to silence feature. So these all features are based on the accelerometer sensor. Another sensor we are having is ambient light sensor. The ambient light sensor detects the light around your environment. Your screen's auto brightness is working because of this sensor. This sensor detects the light around you and sends back that data to the operating system, and then based on that data, operating system adjusts the brightness. We have next one, ambient temperature sensor. The temperature sensor is used to detect the temperature around your environment. This is not a standard sensor for all phones. Only some special flagship phones like Galaxy S4, S5 have this kind of sensor. So they sense ambient temperature too. We have air humidity sensor. Like this air humidity sensor is used to detect the humidity around the environment. This sensor helps in some advanced fitness apps. Barometer sensors. Barometer used to detect atmospheric pressure. It can also detect the distance from sea level. It can basically do two tasks. First, if your phone has barometer, then barometer will help GPS to accurately detect your position. And the second one is your phone can help you to detect many fitness activities like tracking the steps you walk throughout the day, etc. Fingerprint sensor. Today, everyone's primary choice for security is fingerprint sensor. When you enroll your fingerprints for the first time, this sensor basically creates a map of your fingerprint. Then next time when you put your finger on the sensor, it just matches it with registered ones. If it matches, then your phone will unlock. This is how basically fingerprint sensor works. You can see it in today's almost all phones. Gyroscope sensor. Gyroscope or gyro sensor is an advanced version of the accelerometer. While accelerometer detects axis-based motion sensing, gyroscope works with accelerometer and detects each degree of changes in orientation. It provides highly precise motion sensing. When you capture 360-degree shots or panoramic shot, then this is the sensor which makes with sense changes in the orientation and snaps the photos in every degree. When you play racing games, then it is the sensor which senses your action. Harmful radiation sensor, like this is a really rare sensor which is designed for specifically some persons. This sensor is used to detect harmful radiation in the nearby environment. Again, this is not a standard sensor, it is specifically designed for a special person who need it. Magnetometer sensor. Magnetometer works like a compass in your phone. It measures magnetic fields and can tell you where it is north. When you use Apple Maps or Google Maps, that is the magnetometer which tells where is north. There are some metal detector app which uses a magnetometer to detect metal presence too. NFS sensor. NFS, which is the wide adoption of cashless payment. NFS is one of the fastest growing technology in smartphones. NFS sensor or near field communication sensor is a technology by which two electronic devices can communicate with each other by bringing them within 4 centimeters of each other. They can quickly send encrypted data to each other, such as payment details. Today, many smartphones have built-in support of NFC. If your phone has NFC support, then you can do payments by just tapping it with other NFC-enabled device. No need for anything else. Payment never made so easy. Proximity sensor. The proximity sensor detects the presence of an object. In the mobile phone, it detects the distance between sensor and object. Generally, it is your ear or hand. During calls, your screen automatically goes off. This action is done via the proximity sensor. Pedometer sensor. You can tell pedometer is an advanced version of accelerometer. It mostly used to track your steps. If your phone has pedometer, then it can accurately detect your steps. Definitely, this work can also be done via accelerometer, but the result which come from pedometer will far more accurate. And because it is specifically designed for the task, again, this comes only in some advanced flagship phones. So these were some of the sensors. Now, what we can do with the help of this sensor? You have a wonderful example in front of you where the model is trying to predict students' mental health via some sensing, automatic continuous sensing, then behavioral classifiers, then self reports, and then self student life cloud, and the statistical analysis of the mental health of an individual. So through Android phones, to using these sensors data, we can do a lot of research, especially in the area of artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and data mining. Uh, a lot can be done. Like a lot of apps are working in this direction. We have also the opportunity that now we need not to go here and there to buy sensors. We can just collect the data from our own phones using some ways, some techniques, and we can have the sensors data, and on the basis of that we can do something creative and constructive. So we have a wonderful overview of sensors in smartphones, and we can further elaborate it. I would like to express my gratitude to the Medium blog, which helped me a lot in getting this content, and very grateful to them.